Hello everybody, this is she. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jay. This is Jordan. Call me whatever you want to. And we're back on the piano, okay? So I don't really know what the inspiration for the music I'm gonna be coming up with for today is. I want to do something that is like a scale, kind of. Something along those lines, but maybe I want to find a different scale. Ooh, okay, so we might do it in here. So it's gonna be like that, maybe. I like that one. I kind of get the concept, but I feel like I might want to change up the words just a little bit. So, I know it wasn't no good for each other. No. Well, okay, I guess I could go through some of the things that I heard today, actually. So my friend told me She goes, Jordan, I think you need to watch the show Tell Me Lies. And I'm like, all right, what is it about? She tells me the synopsis of the story behind Tell Me Lies. And then she tells me the wee little metaphor that is implicated within the show. And she talks about the story between the scorpion and the frog. So I said, well, what happened between the scorpion and the frog? She said, well, it's a metaphor about how a scorpion needed to get to the other side of somewhere, some piece of a body of water, okay? But it didn't know how to get across the body of water because it would thusly drown because scorpions don't swim. So he talks to the frog and he asks, hey, frog, can you help get me across this bay? You know, can I utilize you as a ride to get me across the bay? So the frog says, well, how can I trust you? And the scorpion says, well, you can trust me because if I the frog says, how can I trust you? Trust that you won't sting me. And the scorpion says, well, how can I sting you? Because if that happens, we'll both die. And so the frog entrusts the scorpion as they're going across this bay or this body of water. The scorpion stings the frog, and right before they drowned, the frog asks, why did you sting me? And the scorpion says, because it's just who I am. So I think that's kind of the muse for this right now, because it kind of sounds like some lucid memory. And the person who I'm talking to now, like, I don't know why I have, like, you know, these very deep memorial tendencies to think about him when we don't really hang out that often. It was definitely a cellular relationship where I wanted so much to, like, escape that realm and just kind of meet in the real world. And I don't know. I don't really know what's going on in his head. So So I want something something to symbolize that. And I've entrusted you with so much, and every time that you keep saying that I can trust you, it turns out that in reality I can't, you know, and I just find myself doing that a lot in that relationship or situationship that I am in. And so it's like, are we no good for each other? Like, yes or no? You know, do you think that? Kind of no with like a question mark, but then it's also being like, maybe not right now. Like, if the answer is no, like, we're no good for each other. No. Again, flying and synchronicity again. Actually, okay, wait a minute. There were two, and then it just happened to be a bunch of them now. Now there's like 6. There's 6 of them. 7. No, 6. Definitely 6. Something like that. let's see what we can come up with, okay? So, maybe I don't like my shirt. Hold on, guys. You guys, I'm feeling much better. I had to change my clothes, get out of my school clothes, and get comfy because I'm not doing this, and I had to fix my hair because it was not looking good. All right, so I've come up with some more lyrics. So here we're just gonna write them down. So we're no good for each other. No? Question mark? We're no good for each other. No. And then the next one is, you help me like no other. Like no other. No. Wounds run deep, like between me and my mother. Like between me and my mother. Should it be that? Wounds run deep, like between me and my mother. Or wounds run deep, like me and my mother. Yeah. Like me and my mother. No. Love when you yell at me like my father. Like my father. No. All right, and then we're gonna do a key change after that. So let's go through it. Vibrating on my phone. I don't really like that all that much. With that, I would do like a violin, like but like not hold it out too long. Like, so you know what we'll do? We'll voice it like how I would want the violin. So something like that. No, no, no. So where would I go for? back and figure this out. Na, 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 so we would have to go down to C sharp or D flat, mainly C sharp. Da 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 da. But go down. We might even have to go back to no. You know where that inspiration is from? Because I'm not going to take all the credit for that melody, and that's from the last song. And there's fuck it, I'm gonna make a song out of that. Okay. I'm not singing that right. You help me. I don't know how I want to do that. Well, I know I'm good for each other. No. Bum, 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 da. You help me like my father. You help me like no other. No. One's on D like me. One's on D, let me take me my mother. No. The way you yell like my father. No. Dun, dun. I don't know, something around those lines, like where do I go after that? I want to see what other note I can use. We're just literally trying everything. I think the best one is the F anyway. I'm gonna pause this so I can like backtrack to what melody I just had before I figured out where the vision came from, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna mold all this together and then see what notes I want to use. I'm gonna do it slow, okay? We're not gonna do anything too crazy. everything, and it's gonna be really good. We did it! We did it. Okay, so I will still come up with like more to figure it out, but that was just like the first portion of it, and I'm so glad that I finally figured out, I finally got it done throughout the day yesterday, because I had to go to class, and I thought it was very interesting and pertinent to some of the things that were going on in my life. Obviously, with another well, it's actually the same situationship, not the first situationship from the first video, but the same situationship that I've been talking to for almost 9 years. 9 months, 9 months. So I guess if I should just go through the lyrics with you guys. Okay, so we're gonna go through the lyrics of this song and what they mean to me in this point in time currently. And we're gonna call this person C because the lyric C is in there, and we'll get to that at a later point. But I've been talking to somebody, and it's been a very toxic cycle for about 9 months. We talk every day, but it is only bound to a cellular relationship. We only talk over the phone, and not even calling each other. He won't answer when I call him, and he only texts me, and it's just, again, a very, very, very toxic cycle between the two of us. So the first line being, we're no good for each other, no. But it's also like, it's got a no question mark on it, because this is the closest or most vulnerable that I've been with someone ever. And so there's always like that, is it a yes or is it a no? Because you're still here, and even when I do try and leave, you still come back. So I'm like, are we good for each other or are we not? You know, like I'm still having those inquiries, and I don't want to necessarily say doubts, because it's like I actually I want to say that I don't really have doubts, but it's also like, oh, I don't want to just, blindly, let's fix the lighting. I don't necessarily want to say that we're not good for each other, because I think we go to each other and rely on one another for a lot of things, which the next lyric goes, you help me like no other. And that's the truth. I mean, while I've been going through school, he's been there every step of the way, and, wanting to make sure that I have my passions in line and wants me to reach all of my goals. So again, it's that like weird relationship where it's like, you want me to do my absolute best, and I look to you for the strength in doing that, but we still haven't solidified anything permanent. So that then goes into, wounds they run deep like between me and my mother, which I have a fantastic relationship with my mother, but there are parental wounds that are very scarring, and some traumas that I have to essentially get over. So I would definitely say, like, I sometimes do have mommy issues. I think a lot of people may be able to relate to that. Again, I have the most fantastic relationship with my mother. And obviously there are just some times where we may bump heads. So that's why it's like, you assimilate that for me as well. Like, not everything is going to be good in our relationship, and you show me the good parts, the bad parts, the indifferent parts, and I'm there through it all, and vice versa. I show you my good parts, my bad parts, the indifferent parts. So that was essentially why I wrote that part in there, and I said, love when you yell at me like my father, no. Again, that question mark, like, it's kind of weird, but he doesn't raise his voice at me ever. He's a very, very calm gentleman, like, and I am a very loud, obnoxious person sometimes when we argue. And I remember one time, actually, when he did call me on the phone one day, and I'm like yelling at him, and finally he like raised his voice one time, and I was like, oh, I was like, I've never experienced this emotion with you before. And not to say that like I liked bringing him out of his character, but it was like, I didn't know that you had that side in you. And sometimes I do need a little bit of pushback because I can be argumentative. And we're working on that. And so next, when we go into this pre-chorus saying, do you just me? And that goes to the metaphor that I was speaking of beforehand with the scorpion and the frog. Because now it's getting into that symbiotic relationship that they're trying to afford one another in order for the scorpion to get across to the other side of the bay. So it's me, I guess, the frog being like, do you trust me? Like, do you trust me to get you across, you know? And the next line goes, why won't you touch me? Which, in this whole relationship, again, when I said it was dots down to a very cellular level, so he doesn't come over, he doesn't cuddle me, we don't get as intimate as I would like, and it's like, this is 9 months of this going on, and we've only really talked to one another. Which I don't mind doing that, and it's making me garner a lot of patience, and kind of understanding his perspective as to why, you know, he's saying like, no, let's not you get intimate. And I'm not as experienced in that realm, and I know he's had more partners than I have, and so it's like I kind of feel like on the back burner a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting to this point where I'm really deep in a connection with somebody, but we're not doing anything. And maybe I shouldn't expect to always do something with somebody, because I am very spiritual and do have a belief in God, and so maybe it's connected to that, where, you know, we kind of just keeping Jesus in the middle of us. But that also really hasn't been a conversation, which I do know that he's faithful. But I'm like, is that the reason? And so it's that feeling of inadequacy a little bit, because it's like I want to experience those things with you, but I also am willing to take it at your speed and your pace. And maybe 9 months is like too long for some people. But I mean, there's also people who wait till marriage, and I'm not saying that he's doing that, or I don't know. This is why I write in a song. Okay, I don't have all the answers to the world, and I don't have all the answers to him either in his brain. No, okay. So don't come for me in the comments and being like, you're a fucking idiot. Oops. You're a freaking idiot. So the next part says, oh baby, don't you sting me. Which again, that's me and the frog's standpoint or point of view, basically saying to him, the scorpion, like, if I am to entrust you, please don't burn me, don't hurt me, don't sting me, you know, don't take my trust and completely throw that out the window, especially when I already have a hard time trusting people, and I'm giving you that opportunity of like a warning, like don't misuse this chance that you have. And so then that last part goes, don't let us drown in your sea, please. And C, S-E-A, and then that following C, the actual letter C, please, because I nickname him, I call him C, that's my nickname for him. So don't let us both drown. Well, you know, you're on my back, because then we're both gonna succumb to a fateful ending. And wait, is fateful good? we're then gonna succumb to a not so good ending. And no, I don't want that to happen. And I think that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to finish the lyrics for because that was also gonna be the guitar or a violin, like so I don't know if I want to do that with an instrument or if I really want to draw those lyrics out and then go back to the pre-chorus of did you just me? So we're just gonna have to figure it out, and I know I will. So I'm really liking this one especially. I feel like it definitely resonates for the circumstances again at hand in my life. And I've also never really done a song where why am I forgetting the word for this? I've never composed a song. I don't want to say trill. That's why I don't know why that's the only like word that's popping into my head right now. But this is probably my favorite part. Come up with some lyrics for that specific point, like the end, and I guess essentially that would have been my chorus. So that's why I called the other part the pre-chorus, because I was thinking about putting in lyrics to that, but I kind of just liked what I had going on. But if you liked today's video, or if you like this sort of content, please let me know, or drop some recommendations on what kind of sound you guys would like to hear next. I love putting these melodies together and coming up with words. This is something that I left off for a little while just to focus on myself and on school, and I actually found, what, I need to stop doing that, because this was my creative outlet and I didn't have that for about a half a year, and we're not gonna do all that anymore. So again, thanks guys so much for tuning in and joining me here, and I love you all.
Oh, I stop crying. Maybe you'll stop lying. I'm just defining. No, cry. When will I stop crying? I'm just defining. Baby, you'll keep lying. No, I'm crying. When will I stop crying? Help me just define. Stop crying.